welcome back. In the last part, we're gonna take you through the whole Mixdown process and do a little recap on the whole routing and how everything comes together. So, like Toby mentioned, the first part, we got the drums all grouped up. All kick layers are going into this bass drum bus. I'm not gonna mention all the plugins in here as Toby did this before. So yeah, all the kicks are going into a group, all the snares are going into a group. Both these groups are each going into the drum sub channel, so in there is pretty much everything, hi-hats, cymbals, snares, kicks. And I guess I have to take a look at it. Yeah. In there's some slight compression, some EQing, but the most important thing is the parallel bus. So parallel compression and parallel distortion going on there, which pretty much beefs up the whole drum bus. Yeah, the same thing happens with kick and snare. Toby mentioned it also. So there's some extra snappiness and we mixed it, yeah, into the drum bus. And all of this again gets summed together in the all drum bus. Might be confusing, but in the end all those parts come together in one bus and get compressed again. Continuing on with the bass. As I mentioned it, there's not much going on in the bass bus. Just as with the drums, some parallel processing going on. Oh no, it's over there, but anyway. Yeah, parallel distortion and parallel compression again, mixed back, and yeah, nothing fancy. On the pads, there was something there. There was a compressor beforehand, but again, we decided just to use some sidechain compression on there. Just, yeah, to make some space for kick and snare again. FX, also a group. Cut off the low end and added an SSL compressor just to catch off some peaks and add a bit of glue. All those main groups, so all drums, all bass, all pads, and all FX,
yep,
are going into the so-called Firlefanz group, which is pretty much like random garbage. I don't know. I guess there's no literal translation. Yeah, they all get routed into one group. There's another compressor on there. I guess Toby might...
Yeah, this Pro-C is doing mainly, you heard it before, another sidechain thing. So it's in the beginning of using sidechain, we did it too heavy and on single sounds, and now we try to make it more balanced. And at the end, we decided to put this group, as Florian mentioned, routing things in, and then do another little compression, sidechain compression, or yeah. We should play everything so you can see how it works. So maybe you can hear it that when the sidechain is working, it sounds a bit more not dynamic in a way, that the drums making their way through the rest a bit, but not too much. It's, yeah, we like the vibe when it's working, and yeah, I think it's sometimes a thing of taste. Not everyone would do it maybe, but yeah, for us it fits to the track, and it helps to have some bit more space, especially when it comes to the master, to the main out with the limiting So yeah, that's the thing. And the nice thing on this Pro C is you can use a range on the frequency spectrum. So we left a bit of the lower stuff out and also something from the highs, because when you use the snare on everything, also you have sometimes the problem that it's ducking too much of the frequencies you maybe want to have the whole time, especially cymbals or some resounds or some higher frequencies from sound effects stuff. So yeah, it's cool to make this with this range thing to make it special for the whole sound. So yeah, you can also do mid and side signal difference, but this time it's a bit different. You can see here the side level is working a bit less than the mid level. Yeah, because when you have the same impact on the side signal, it may sound a bit too obvious that you have a sidechain going on. So yeah, you can tweak this really good. Yeah, and it's also kind of a little parallel thing at the end. So you have a compact thing with this Pro C. Yeah, that's it for these main channels. And yeah, as Florian mentioned, it comes finally to the main out, to the stereo out, and there are a couple of cool things. I think Florian can say a bit more to this tool because he showed this thing to us first. So yeah, what's going on with this Saxon?
Yeah, I discovered this plugin a few months ago, and it's quite a nifty toy and not really doing that much, but it has a real cool sound. So it's pretty much a desk emulation, so like a channel saturation, yeah. And you got those two plugins. I guess I have to.
Let's show some more. Let's saving some more channels in the mixer. So yeah, you can see all these things here. Go on.
Yeah. So you can pretty much tag it on every channel. It's quite easy in the CPU. So I'll just solo this here. I guess. Yeah, so you just turn out the output compensation, so you can push the gain and will automatically reduce the output level, so it stays the same level, but you get some really nice saturation as soon as you push it slightly into the red. Also, the filters are really sounding nice. Yeah. So with the new version, you can group them up, and you just put the bus plugin on the master, and then you can control all your groups you made up beforehand and drive them slightly. It's really subtle, but it adds a bit of mojo, I would say. Some kind of magic. Let me just play it. It's almost not noticeable, especially on YouTube, I guess. But
we can say
it works a bit in the stereo field and in the low mid, so it's a nice finishing touch.
Yeah,
but you can, sorry. Yeah, you can also use it to drive it hard and kill some of the transient if you want to. It depends on the material in the end. Also, that's pretty much.
Yeah, so yeah, this is definitely a cool thing we used at the end on all tracks of this EP, and yeah, as Florian said, it's bringing a bit of this warm thing. People normally say you have it just when you use hardware stuff. So, but yeah, it's a kind of cool emulation, and yeah, we like it.
And pretty affordable as well.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, after this Saxon thing in the main out, you have this, I can't see it now, the Saturn Fab filter again. Yeah, what's doing this? We have to say in the process of doing this track, it was one of the first we finished. We worked without this thing, just with this little limiter to reducing some peaks, and then after this with the isotope ozone as the final stage. And we realized that the limiter was working sometimes a bit too heavy and it feels a bit crushed, and then we decided, okay, we need to do something before to have more control on the transients especially, and this Saturn doing it quite well. So it's a simple thing, it's warm tape, not much drive, also the mix is reduced, so it's not doing that much you can hear. Especially in the low end, it pushes it a bit. But the main effect is, let me switch off the mixer to see it. So make it the opposite way. First the Saturn and then the Pro L in the chain. So without, watch this way. You have peaks until -4 dB, and now with this thing, watch again. So, quite a logic. You see, it's a reduction of around about 2 dB in the peaks, in the main peaks, and the cool thing is, it's still sounding quite the same. It glues a bit more also, so that's a good thing you like normally. And summing, that you have a bit, the things come together. And sure, at the end, it also affects the isotope, the limiter. Sure, here, a lot of things going there. Looks quite busy, but yeah, you have the same then, that the limiter is not working that hard, and then you can do its second stage of limiting. So it's kind of, interesting. Maybe some people wouldn't do that, but yeah, we do. Let me switch off some things here. Let's start with the equalizer. It's it's not doing that much. Mainly here in the height, it's pushing the top around 11k hertz. So switch this off. So it brings a bit more freshness to the whole mix. I guess this is not really mentionable. Yeah, then we did a high cut. Yeah, it's just to control some special heights, mainly in the hi-hats. They are firing over. Harmonic excitement, I think we used it not that heavy on this track mainly. Yeah, we split it at mid and side signal, so the mids are not really working, it's just the heights again, and in the side it's a bit more to push the side level in the mix. That brings a bit of volume without doing too much with the limiter or fucking up the signal too much. The dynamics, and you can see this means when it's in the middle, it's 100% working. When it's over, then it's pushing it more, and it's kind of a mix, wet-dry level, so it's quite dry in this moment, so it's not really working, it's just a tiny bit. It makes for us a difference. The dynamics the same, it's really low, so it's not doing that much, but when you look at this, yeah, it's a lot of impact going there. Sure, sometimes people leave this stage out in the mastering and they do just a little maximizing, limiting. But yeah, sometimes we use it because it makes again a kind of glue effect on the sounds and bringing it together, drums, bass, the melodic parts, and especially at the endings of a part of a track, a breakdown thing, gets sometimes a bit different movement through some dynamics. So yeah, it creates also some things you don't have in mind before using this. So yeah, it makes some good surprises sometimes. So it's cool to keep this for the final thing. Sure, with the stereo image, it's not doing that much. It's just the low frequencies are negative, so no side signals until 120 hertz, and then yeah, sure, it's a bit on top to make it a bit more open, the mix, but it's not that big, the amount of you can hear. The maximizer, I think this is the main important thing, and we use the IRC free mode. We try every time a bit with these modes which fits best to the track. So this time it's this one. I guess Jacob is more the guy who can tell you things about all these things. But yeah, now I'm here and he isn't here. So yeah, the character of the limiter is the crisp. You can change it with clipping or balanced. Especially in this track, we have a lot of transient short attacks and stuff, so it's quite cool to work with this thing to push it. So let's look at this quick. So you can hear and also see how much it's working. Some producers might go out of the room and scream. For us, it's okay. It's about 6 dB, or yeah, the threshold is going until a value of 6, so it's okay. I think when you can try it, because when you go more in, you can hear it, what's happening. So, for example, I go to you can hear it when you have good ears and a good room. So what value is the best one to go with? So yeah, I guess that's it. Anything to add, Florian?
I guess not.
Okay, cool. So yeah, then let's stop here. We hope you enjoyed this tutorials, these different parts, and yeah, maybe we do more. See you.
Yeah, bye.